right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live from Fred Summers Court and the middle school gym on the campus of Wilmington High School for our third and final game of the evening here as the Middletown Middies are taking on the Wilmington Hurricane. We've already had two games happen here in the second annual Wilmington Scholastic Play-by-Play Classic. As our first game of the evening featured Stivers taking on Kings, and Stivers would become the winners of that game 57-46. The game that just concluded here, the defending Division I state champion Wayne Warriors beating Jackson 65-58, really hanging on to win that ball game. It was such a great back and forth action between those two teams. And finally, our game to end the Scholastic Play-by-Play here this evening, the Wilmington Hurricanes here at home taking on the Middletown Middies here live on campusnation.com. Are you changing the camera? I didn't know you were changing the card. You want to go off and then go back on? Here, go ahead and we'll just turn off.
All right, let's try this all over again. We had to change our SD card in the camera. We had two games on it, and it's only capable of holding about 2.5 games. I didn't want to have to worry about at halftime being able to change it out. So anyway, obviously AJ's already done our intro. We've got game number 3 of our 4 games today on Campus Nation. 1 college game, and obviously this is the third of the 3 high school games. There's going to be a special presentation to begin this game. Jaron Cumberland scored his 2,000th point last night, so they're going to honor him just before this game begins.
Just an amazing basketball player.
He is. And did you get the starting lineups, AJ?
I got the starters for
there they are.
Middletown. I almost could have guessed the starters for Wilmington.
Right, and if Cameron Stewart is anything like last night,
sorry. Yeah, Jaron Cumberland, he's just an amazing player, Rick. Going to play at UC, right?
Yes, sir. University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Not really been a big UC fan over the years, even during the Bob Huggins days, but I'll be pulling for the Bearcats. Obviously, we've got a great team in Xavier down there. I mean, I would say that they're going to be in the Final Four, if not winning at all.
Really?
They have a great team. Oh, yeah. And they won today against DePaul, going away. Nathan Barker, Scott Hartley, and Joe Wasserman they are our referees for this game, the Wilmington Middletown Middie game. Live on campusnation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and brought to you by
Bogart's Southern Barbecue, 975 South Street in Wilmington, Ohio. Always closed on Sunday. Join them Monday through Saturday.
Right, and then of course they always bring all Hurricane sports. And tonight is Hurricane Sports Night.
All right, so Middletown will try to spoil Wilmington's home game in the third and final matchup of the second annual Wilmington Scholastic Play-by-Play Classic. Head coach Mark Barker has his team at 8-9 entering today's ball game against the Hurricane. They would certainly gain momentum for the rest of the season if they can pull off the upset in front of the Hurricane home crowd. The top scorer for the Middies this season is senior Kobe Johnson. Johnson's a 6'2 guard and is averaging a team-high 15 points a game and is the player that the Middies count on the most to put the ball in the basket when needed most. Accompanying Johnson in the backcourt for the Middies is junior Cliff Snow. Snow's a 6'5 guard, is second leading scorer for the Middies, averaging over 11 points a contest. A third player in the starting guard position that can put points on the board for Coach Barker is fellow junior Jamar Bailey. The 6'5 Bailey is averaging over 9 points per game, is the type of player that will not hesitate to shoot the ball if his number is called. The starting front court for the Middies is anchored by senior Jimmy Radcliffe as well as a promising sophomore E.J. Williams. Radcliffe, 6'8", forward, is the third leading scorer for the Middies, averaging over 10 points a game. He is the player that the defense cannot afford to lose in the paint area on the court and will finish strong to the rim. Williams, a 6'10" center, is the most imposing player on the court for Middletown. Entering today, Williams is averaging a team-high 8 rebounds a contest to go along with his 9 points. Head coach Mike Naska will lead Wilmington to a 16-1 impressive record entering the contest against Middletown to close out the second annual Wilmington Scholastic Play-by-Play Classic. The Hurricane has one of the most exciting and talented players in the state of Ohio, and senior Jaron Cumberland, the 6'5" shooting guard, is entering today as the highest scorer among players participating in today's event at 28.8 points a game. He's a streaky shooter who can take over a game at any point on the season. Cumberland is shooting over 56% from the field and is also the top 3-point shooter on the rosters. If the Middies have any chance of defeating the Hurricane, Cumberland must be forced to take at least difficult shots with perhaps 2 players on him. He also leads the Hurricane in 7.6 boards and 3.7 steals and 1.8 or 1.4 blocks a game. Cumberland is committed to play next year at the University of Cincinnati. Joining Cumberland in the backcourt for the Hurricane is fellow senior Cameron Stewart, a 5'9" guard, is the second leading scorer for the Hurricane, averaging over 10 points a contest. On the season, Stewart is shooting 56.6% from the floor and is by far the best free throw shooter on the team at 87 or 85.7% from the charity stripe. Stewart also leads Wilmington at 4 assists per game to go along with the totals of 3 rebounds and 2.5 steals a contest. A third player in Coach Naska's starting backcourt that has played exceptionally well for the Hurricane is sophomore Dylan Bogard. Bogard, a 5'9" guard, is averaging just 9 points per game this season, which is good for third on the club, as well as 3.5 boards and 3.5 assists a night. The starting front court for Wilmington will try to limit the production of Radcliffe and Williams. Contains junior Chris Worley and senior Alex Miller. Worley, a 6-foot forward, is the team's second leading rebounder, averaging 6 boards a game, while also contributing 7 points a contest, while Miller's a 6'4" forward who is averaging 4 points a game and 5 boards per game. It is also another low post option for the Hurricane in the paint.
If you didn't catch it, we have the game from last night where the Hurricane won 116-28. Jaron Cumberland scored his 2,000th point last night. They didn't stop the game or anything, but he managed to put 2,000 points in his career, obviously the leading scorer in Wilmington Hurricane history. And tonight he will be adding to that. And I'm going to tell you right now, Middletown is not going to beat Wilmington tonight. You can bank that. Where are we going to eat tonight, AJ?
I'm going home. That's where I'm going after the game, is going home.
Well, we might be able to go to the steakhouse tonight since we don't have to spend any money on Charlie or AJ. Those are the 2 biggest eaters on our staff.
And I'm about 150 pounds lighter than Charlie.
Yeah, that's true. And about 150 years younger.
So, you're saying that Middletown will not beat Wilmington tonight.
No chance.
But if they had a chance to look at the film from that Moeller game that Wilmington fell to a couple weekends ago, that they may have a shot if they limit Wilmington to bad shots like Moeller did.
It's not going to happen. I may be a little partial, but obviously it's just not going to happen. Wilmington's not going to be beaten right here on their home court.
How many points does Cumberland score then?
Probably 25. The real key will be Cameron Stewart. If he picks up last night, I mean, he had a triple-double last night. He was on fire. He was hitting everything. If we see Cameron step up and score like he did last night, they're going to be unstoppable, because between Cumberland and Stewart, they were 116 points last night.
3 minutes away from starting lineups and our pregame festivity, with Jaron Cumberland being awarded for his 2,000th point
And last night the Hurricane had 7 players in double figures, I think.
Wake up, Janet.
Well, Rick, I mean, we've been covering Wilmington all year long. They are 16-1, that one blemish coming at the hands of the third-ranked team in the state, Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller. We just saw the number 1 team in the state, Wayne, survive against a very game Jackson team up from Massillon, Ohio. I mean, Rick, that Massillon team, they were fast.
They are impressive. And they could shoot the threes like nobody's business there. Well, we know there are 2 teams that Wilmington has to go through to get to a state final, particularly out of the southwest area, which I said last year, and I marked my words, that the state champion was coming from the southwest area, and obviously I figured that would be either Wilmington or Wayne. And of course it was Wayne. And I would say once again, this year, the state champion will come from the southwest area. Now, whether that is going to be Moeller, or whether that's going to be Wayne, or whether it's going to be Wilmington, we've got some great talent here in southwest Ohio.
It's going to be an interesting game here tonight for the Wilmington Hurricane. Last season, they also capped off that play-by-play classic by beating Wayne. And then Wayne would be propelled to the state championship last season, beating Westerville South in the finals, and they also, I think, beat Moeller, too.
And I think Wilmington has something to get back at Middletown for anyway. I think it was 2 years ago that Middletown knocked Wilmington out of the tournament. And that was the district again, just, the same way. Hey, guys. Yeah.
We always get fist bumps from the referees.
I know. What about you, Roger? Your arms aren't long enough. You need some longer arms.
All right. We're going to turn over to an announcer here. And we're going to get our pregame festivities underway.
I have a little presentation or acknowledgement. Last night at 2:49 in the second quarter, Jared Cumberland had a layup that scored his 2,000th point in his Wilmington High School career. 2,000 points. Last night at 2:49 in the second quarter. He's going to end up with a big number. We still have a lot of games to go yet, tournament, so good luck to Jared. All right, for Middletown starting tonight, number 1, Jimmy Ratliff. Number 10, Joe Marmelli. Number 11, Cliff Snow. Number 23, Kobe Johnson. And number 34, E.J. Williams. Coached by Mark Baker.
So they've mixed those numbers up a little bit.
Stand up. Here is your lineup for tonight. Let's go. Number 3, Cameron Stewart.
The man on fire from last night.
Number 10, Alex Miller. 32, Dylan Roper.
My spark plug, as I affectionately refer to Dylan. And of course,
He was the fantastic freshman last year. Now he's the sensational sophomore.
and quite possibly the starting quarterback for Wilmington's Hurricane next year.
And Joe Weisman.
All right, Rick. This is the game we've been waiting for, honestly.
Yeah, I would say Wilmington's going to be somewhere in the 80s. Middletown probably be somewhere in the 60s.
Oh, okay. So you're still making it close.
Well, 20 points.
Wilmington wearing their traditional home unis, all white, black and orange trim with black lettering and orange trim around the letters. Middletown wearing their away uniforms, all purple with white lettering, black and white trim down the sides of their jerseys and pants.
Middletown has a man-child as well. He is huge.
E.J. Williams, bro. All right, Jimmy Ratcliffe, Bailey, Snow, Calhoun, and Williams, the starters for Middletown. Stewart, Miller, Bogard, Cumberland, and Worley, the starters for Wilmington. Ball's in the air, we're tipped, we're underway. Alex Miller to Worley, right off the gate, and he got it blocked by Ratcliffe.
Nice block.
Ratcliffe gives it off to number 23, Calhoun. Back to Ratcliffe. Gives it off to number 11, Snow. Snow inside, no good on his shot, was number 10, Bailey. And here come the Hurricanes. Stewart to Bogart. Gives it back to Stewart. Gives it to Worley. Back to Bogart, trying to find Cumberland. He does, inside. Cumberland goes up with 2 men on him. One hand, good for 2.
Wilmington draws first blood. 2-0.
Yep. 7:10 to go in the first quarter. Calhoun all the way across court to Ratcliffe. Gives it to Snow for 3. No good on the three-pointer. Rebounded by Jaron Cumberland. He's going to take it. Give it off to Miller. Miller, jumper. No good. Rebounded by Snow. Ratcliffe gives it back to Snow. On the drive, the one-hander floater, no good. Bogart and Snow was fighting for the rebound.
Bogart just too fast.
Bogart ended up getting it away. Good job by Cumberland to get it from him as well. Ball's in the air. Stewart to Worley. Gives it back out to Bogart. Now over to Cumberland. Pump fake. Cumberland to Miller.
Nice.
Off the glass. No good. Ball's loose. Going back to Middletown.
A little too hard. Did you share my post?
Not yet. Wilmington with the steal. Cumberland with the bucket.
Timeout Middletown already.
Middletown wants a 30-second timeout with 6:16 to go in the first quarter of play. It's Wilmington 4, Middletown 0.
That beautiful ring there, AJ. Don't you wish you had one of those? Ohio State Championship replica ring 2015.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real.
Well, the championship was.
Yeah, so was Bama's championship win this year.
Bama starts with a B, doesn't it?
Yes, Rick.
Okay. I'm looking for my post. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Who's that good-looking man standing beside you, AJ? In your profile picture.
My dad. Snow gives it off to Calhoun. Still trying to get it across half court. They don't. Stolen away by Cumberland. Coast to coast. Too easy.
Got it. 6-0 run for the Hurricane.
Snow gives it back to Calhoun. They're trying to get it across half court. They do. Calhoun to Snow. Snow over to Calhoun. He's in the corner now, working against Stewart. Now dribbles out around the wing. Calhoun, drive, jumper. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Cumberland, who has all 6 points. Loses the ball out of balance and stays with Wilmington. Coming into the ball game for Middletown, number 24, Ethan Edwards. He comes in for number 11, Cliff Snow. Stewart will inbound. Gets it into Worley off the glass. 2 points, good. 8-0 Wilmington here. They open up the game on an 8-0 run. 5:15 to go in the first. Calhoun spinning. Gives it to Ratcliffe. Three-pointer wide open. No good. Rebounded by Cumberland. Stewart receives the rock. On the drive. Goes up. Nice. Right off where he left off last night for 2. Calhoun gets the impound. Going up.
Oh, that's nice.
There's Middletown's first points of the ball game. 10-2, Hurricane in the lead. Bogart gives it off to Cumberland. Gives it off to Stewart. Stewart back to Bogard. Bogard back outside to Cumberland. Pump fake. Easy three. Nope. Gives it off to Stewart. Gives it back to Bogard. No good. Fighting. Miller was fighting for that rebound. It was last touched by Williams. It'll stay Hurricane ball.
We almost said the same thing at the same time, AJ.
We did.
I did that with Charlie earlier.
It's creepy.
I know it is creepy.
Down here, guys.
Rogers just traffic cop here, trying to route them around. For some reason, they always stop in front of us like we're important.
Right.
I wonder what that is. Oh, we are?
Eddie and Snow back in the ball game here.
Charlie.
Stewart gets it into Miller, and off the glass for two is Alex Miller.
10-point lead, 12-2.
Calhoun wanted to run with it, fell better of him. Petty back to Calhoun on the drive. Goes up, foul, and the shot.
That was nice.
Worley is going to get charged with the foul.
That was on 44.
His first, team's first.
His first, team first. Basket was good. Number 24, he didn't check the line.
Jeffrey Mansfield in the ball game for Wilmington.
Jeffrey Mansfield in the ball game.
4:17 to go in the first quarter. Wilmington 12. Middletown 4. Calhoun finishes a three-point play to make it 12-5. Bogard to Cumberland. Back to Bogard. Gives it back to Cumberland. Three on the wing. No good on that one. Rebounded by Bogard on the floor.
That's my spark plug.
And then Stewart for three on the other side. No good. Rebounded by Calhoun.
Trapping for Wilmington.
Calhoun tried to fit it inside to Williams, and Cumberland tried to save it from going out of bounds, and it stays Middletown ball.
3:49 remaining in this first quarter of play. Wilmington up 12-5. Middletown bringing the ball in. From the corner, a three-pointer. No good.
Here comes Wilmington off that rebound. Miller picks it up, throws it over to Cumberland. Drive. Ow!
And he makes it. Can't stop the man-child.
Fouls on. E.J. Williams charged with the foul. First shot. Got the three-point play. 10-point lead for Wilmington again, 15-5. Chris Worley in the ball game for Miller. 3:38 to go in the first quarter. Inbound comes into Calhoun. Tried to split the middle, and that's going to be a foul.
Bogard
against Bogard. His first, team second.
Little block there. Middy's taking it out right in front of us. Tipped out by Wilmington. It will still be Middletown ball. 3:33 remaining in the first quarter.
Calhoun all by himself, blocked, stolen away. Bogard to Stewart, out to Cumberland. Tried to fit it inside to Mansfield, picks it back up, gives it to Bogard, over to Stewart, down inside Worley. What a pass by Worley to Mansfield, is fouled.
Mansfield is going to go to the line. That was a nice pass. They were both up in the air, the Middletown players, thinking that he was going up for it.
Xavier Peters is first at the line, Jeffrey Mansfield.
Fouls on Xavier Peters.
2 shots for Mansfield.
Each team with 2 fouls now.
First one's up, no good.
Jimmy Matt, number 1, back in for the Middies.
Second one, that one's good by Mansfield, and in comes Alex Miller.
Alex Miller back in for the Hurricane.
Calhoun gets the inbound pass. Pressing, Going up, coast to coast, no good. Ball's tipped out. Picked up by Peters. To Ratcliffe, back to Peters. The shot, no good. Peters gets his own rebound. The shot, no good. Rebounded by Ratcliffe. Batted back into his face, into the hands of Alex Miller, who hands it off to Bogart. Over here to Mansfield. Trying to fit it inside to Worley. Gets knocked out and it'll stay Wilmington basketball.
Coach Noska's shouting out some commands here.
Bogart gets the inbound to Cumberland. Inside to Mansfield, tipped away, or excuse me, he was trying to find Worley. It was tipped away. Ratcliffe finds Calhoun. Trapped, gives it off to Ratcliffe. Stolen away by Bogart. Here come to Kane. Bogart tried to kick it out. That one's stolen away by Ratcliffe. Going up. Foul on the shot.
Going to be a 2-point or a 2-attempt shot.
That was on Worley, his second, team's third.
At the line shooting, number 1, Jimmy Ratcliffe.
That was almost certainly 2 points, so it was at least a good foul.
First shot's no good.
Number 10, Gilmore Bailey back in, as well as number 3, Cameron Stewart for the Hurricanes.
Second one is good.
10-point lead again.
Cumberland
Thought about it.
over to Cumberland, three-pointer, no good. Chased down by Radcliffe, ball still loose on the floor. Stewart tried to pick it up, and it's finally picked up by Calhoun.
Trapped.
He stepped out of bounds. Ball's going back to Wilmington.
Shook him up. Good defense, Hurricane. Minute 50 left in this first half of, or first quarter of play. I'll tell you what, that number 34 for Middletown is Williams.
Yes.
He is huge.
Man-child.
He's got to be, I don't know, 280, 275, 280. Looks like he's maybe 6'4", 6'5".
Mansfield with the ball on the wing. Gives it off to Bogart inside. Cumberland is fouled by Williams on the shot.
They just sent him in to foul.
That's his second. Team's third. Cumberland's first shot is good.
Xavier Peters, 35, back in the ball game for the Ladies.
Already got 10 points. He's in double figures. Second one, no good.
Nope. Ratcliffe with the rebound for Middletown. Gives it off to Snow. Over to Edwards. Back to Snow. Back to Edwards.
Floppy drop to Jamal. Floppy drop to Jamal.
Gives it off to Snow. Off the foot of Bogart. Stays with Middletown. Nick Morris into the game for Wilmington.
Dylan always in the middle of that.
Inbound. Comes into Peters. Kicks it out to Snow. Jumper for two. Airballed that one. Ball goes out. Oh, that was a foul on the floor. Fouls on number Jeffrey Mansfield, his first, the team's fourth. Snow gets the inbound into Edwards.
Travel.
Nope, carried.
Same result, Wilmington's ball. 17-6. Hurricane in the lead. Just over a minute to play in this first quarter.
Cameron Stewart gives it to Cumberland. Under a minute to play in the first. 17-6. Wilmington's in the lead. Over to Cumberland. Gives it back to Stewart. Playing catch right now.
They're content to go for this last shot. Middletown's not really applying any pressure.
Nope, they're in a zone too, Rick. 1-3-1. Stewart to Cumberland, back to Stewart, and back to Cumberland. 23 seconds, back to Stewart. Now they're coming back to apply pressure. Mansfield back outside to Stewart. Back over to Cumberland. Back to Stewart. Back to Cumberland.
Like a yo-yo.
Now Cumberland drives, puts up the shot. Good.
Better hurry.
Calhoun tried to take it all the way. Cumberland puts up a half-court shot. No good.
19-6 after the first quarter of play. Wilmington in the lead. And of course, this quarter, as well as all quarters, brought to you by Bogart's Southern Barbecue. And sweet potato pie, we're going to tell Charlie we had a big slice of it, right? Give Marty a call. 937-655-8100. Bogart's Southern Barbecue. You can dine in, or you can carry out, or you can go through the drive-thru window. Well, you don't want to go through the drive-thru window. You want to drive past the drive-thru window, right? And we've got statistics.
Jaron Cumberland had 12 of the team's 19 points, 3 rebounds. 2 points for Stewart and Miller. 1 point for Mansfield. Wilmington shooting 53% from the field right now, Rick. 8 of 15.
What about Middletown?
Middletown is shooting 2 of 12.
Ooh.
16.7%, and they're 2 of 3 from the line. Another stat, Middletown with 9 turnovers. Wilmington with just 2.
Well, I mean, you look at the score, 19-6. This is typical of a Wilmington game, especially with the Wilmington defense, the trapping, the pressing. 6 points by Middletown. So they may not make it to 60, is what I'm saying.
Middletown will begin with the basketball to begin the second quarter. As the inbound comes in to Ratcliffe, and he'll give it right back to Calhoun. Gives it back to Ratcliffe. Over to Edwards. As they work the ball around. Calhoun. Trying to find somebody. Finds Snow for 3 on the wing.
Oh, nice three.
Nothing but net to make it back to a 10-point lead for Wilmington, 19-9. Cumberland to Stewart. Over to Bogart. Over here to Cumberland. Over here to Dylan Bogard. Gives it out to Miller. Over to Mansfield now. To Stewart for 3. Got it! 3-pointer for Cameron Stewart.
Well, he may be heating up now.
Wilmington showing pressure. Mansfield and Stewart. Calhoun with the ball. All the way out here to Snow for 3. Pump fake. Gives it off to Ratcliffe for 3 at the top. Good. Trading threes. Mansfield. Gives it to Stewart. Over to Bogard. Back to Mansfield. Back to Stewart. Top of the circle for 3. And Stewart no good on that 3. Whistle. Jump ball. Stays with Wilmington.
Middletown's doubled their points total already. From the first half.
From the first quarter.
So things are picking up.
2 threes. Cumberland gets the inbound. Got it blocked. Pulls it down. Gets the shot. In the basket. And 1.
Foul is on 35. Xavier Peters. The basket is good by Jared Cumberland. Shoot it on.
And he makes the 3-point play. And now coming in, Matt Smith.
Smith was doing real well last night. We had a couple. Norris was doing real well last night.
Calhoun gives it off to Ratcliffe for three. That one's good again for three.
Well, the Middies are warming up from the three-point line.
Bogard dribbling here, working against Calhoun out on top. Now driving is Bogard. Kicks it out to Mansfield. Puts it over to Cumberland. Now over to Stewart. Stewart to Smith. Inside, Bogard turns right around. Misses the shot. Mansfield gets the rebound to Stewart. On the outside, now back out to Cumberland. Wilmington resets. Bogard now with the ball. Gives it off to Stewart. Inside, Cumberland is fouled, and they'll be shooting two. 15 foul for Middletown.
You can't stop him in the paint. You got to foul him. I mean, what else do you do?
Jimmy Ratcliffe's first, team's fifth. Shooting two is Cumberland.
You may occasionally get a block on him, but usually he's got some move. You're not going to block him. You got to foul him.
Right. First one's good for Cumberland. And into the ball game, Ethan Edwards. Second one is good by Cumberland as well. And in comes Alex Miller for Jaron Cumberland, who already has 17 points.
Yeah, he's going to eclipse my 25 prediction. I mean, he averages 30.
Calhoun gets it inbounded to Edwards.
28.8 points.
Edwards gives it off to Ratcliffe, who gives it back over to Edwards. Back to Ratcliffe. Gives it off. Going up with the shot. No good by number 10. Bailey gets his own board.
Still can't get it.
Yep, and Ratcliffe pulls down that board. Calhoun along three. In and out. No good. Rebounded by Miller, who hands it off to Stewart right away. 5:10 to go in the first half. Wilmington 27, Middletown 15. Mansfield with the ball. Gives to Bogard. Gives to Miller. Hands it off to Stewart. A whistle. A foul away from the ball.
That'll be on Middletown.
That's on number 35. Xavier Peters, his third. Team sixth.
Yeah, he's already in foul trouble. Cumberland coming back in.
For Matt Smith. Inbound to Cumberland, over to Bogard, now to Miller. Trying to find Cumberland down low in the post, he can't. Gives it out to Bogard. Gives it over to Stewart. Stewart inside. Cumberland goes up with it, makes it look way too easy for 2 points.
Yes.
And now Edwards will dribble the ball up the floor for the Middies. Edwards gives it off to Calhoun. Ball's loose, stolen away by Stewart. Good job by Bogart to set up that steal. Stewart misses the shot, but Miller with the follow-through. And a timeout, full timeout, going to be taken by Middletown with 4:21 to go in the first half, 31-15.
16-point lead for the Hurricane.
Middletown Middies go for a full timeout.
You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. AJ Ganger, Roger Thompson, yours truly, Rick Phillips, bringing you game number 4 of our lineup today on Campus Nation. We'll have all that video along with the audio on demand tomorrow and Monday morning. I'm going to be a busy person tomorrow. Actually, I turn it over to the elves from Mahalo Tree, and they do all the work at night. Yeah, it's like the Keebler elves. Yeah. And now we call these, instead of broadcasts, they're bowcasts for Marty Bogart. Marty BBQ.
We have Santa Claus standing next to Batman in the middle, standing next to a hot dog, and I think there's some Jelly Belly jelly beans over there in the student section.
Yeah, it's food night, food fight at the middle school gym.
Calhoun will get the inbound after the timeout by the Middies. 4:15 to go in the first half. Ratcliffe being trapped. Stolen away, and nope. Ratcliffe got the ball back. This one's stolen away by Stewart. All alone, coast to coast. Way too easy for Cameron Stewart. 2 points, Hurricanes. Now Edwards with the ball. Tried to find a gap, couldn't. Ratcliffe got the handoff. Gave it off to number 4, Petty, and a foul. Offensive foul against the Middies.
I was going to say there was a Hurricane on the floor. Is that Bogart?
Number 23 charged with the foul.
Who did he foul?
I think Bogart got the charge.
Anytime anyone's on the floor laying down, it's got to be 90% of the time it's Dylan.
Or Cameron. First foul for Calhoun. That's the 7th. Wilmington is in the bonus. As Bogard will bring the ball up the floor. 3:34 to go in the first half. 35-15. Stewart to Cumberland. Pump fake. Kicks it out to Mansfield. Over to Stewart. Back over to Cumberland. Now to Bogard. Now to Cumberland, over to Mansfield, back to Stewart. Gives it to Cumberland.
He wanted the 3.
Yeah, he did. Gives it off to Bogard, kicks it to Mansfield, drives, good.
20-point lead.
And Snow gets the inbound now for the Middies. Gives it off to Edwards, gives it off to Petty.
Nice.
The corner is good for Petty.
Middletown has some 3-point shooters.
Number 4.
Wilmington's back. It scores again. 2 points.
Ball goes out of bounds. Stays with the Middies.
Cheerleader got the ball. She has good form. She looks like she could have shot it right from there.
Edwards gets the inbound. Now have to bring it up past half court, working against Bogard. He gave him a little cushion. Gives it off to Snow. Over to Petty. Now Edwards kicks it out to Ratcliffe. No good. Rebounded by Stewart. Gives it off to Bogard. Gives it off to Miller. Kicks it outside to Stewart. Over to Cumberland. 3-pointer. Nope, no good.
He had that.
Looked like he had it. Edwards got it blocked, and a charge taken by Cameron Stewart.
Right, Stewart was positioned. He charged him. Bogart did,
That's Edwards. Come first.
Yeah, that was a charge.
His first in the team's 8th. 1:54 to go here in the first half.
Kobe Johnson, 23, back in the ball game.
Number 23 is Kobe Johnson, Rick. I've been saying his name wrong all game.
Yeah, they had him down as 3. It's 23. I asked Bill Lerman that earlier.
All right, so we got this all taken care of now. Now Kobe Johnson with the ball on top.
Not to be confused with Kobe Bryant, right?
Right.
Got a foul.
Fouls on number 10, Alex Miller.
Fouls on Alex Miller, his first, team's 5th. Kobe Johnson got it blocked but a foul against Alex Miller. He's picked up 2 quick ones here.
Yeah, Miller got him with his body.
Fouls number 10, Alex Miller, his second, team 6. At the line, shooting. Number 23, Cody Johnson.
1:05 remaining in this first half of play. Johnson at the line shooting 2.
First one's good. We apologize for the name mix-up there in the beginning of the game.
Well, we can only go on what we're given on our sheets, and they weren't correct. They had him listed as number 3 instead of 23.
Second one is good. 37-20 and a 17-point lead for Wilmington now with 1 minute to go here in the first half. Miller gives it off to Mansfield, who throws it away out of bounds. Ball stays with Wilmington, I think.
It was tipped.
Stewart inbounds it to Cumberland. Gives it back to Stewart. Now over to Dylan Bogard. Kicks it out to Miller. Over to Bogard again. Now gives it off to Stewart. Over to Cumberland. 41 seconds. Turnaround jumper for Bogard. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson takes it all the way down the floor. Tried to kick it out to Ratcliffe, and it's tipped out of bounds.
Let's go. Bigs up. Bigs up. Bigs up. Bigs up. Toby. Hop to it, Cliff.
Inbound to Snow. He'll dribble it out on top. 20 seconds to go in the half. Number 4, Petty with the ball. Gives it back to Snow in the corner. Gives it back to Petty. Gives it off to Johnson.
6 seconds.
4 seconds. 3. They got to at least shoot. Ratcliffe puts up a desperation 3 at the buzzer. No good. Halftime here at Fred Summers Court. The Hurricane with a 17-point lead, 37-20 over the Middies of Middletown. We'll take a break. You have stats and analysis coming your way here on CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. All right, ladies and gentlemen. are back here live from Fred Summers Court and the middle school gym on the campus of Wilmington High School for our third and all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live from Fred Summers Court and the middle school gym on the campus of Wilmington High School for our third and final game of the evening here as the Middletown Middies are taking on the Wilmington Hurricane. We've already had two games happen here in the second annual Wilmington Scholastic Play-by-Play Classic. As our first game of the evening featured Stivers taking on Kings, and Stivers would become the winners of that game 57-46. The game that just concluded here, the defending Division I state champion Wayne Warriors beating Jackson 65-58, really hanging on to win that ball game. It was such a great back and forth action between those two teams. And finally, our game to end the Scholastic play-by-play here this evening, the Wilmington Hurricanes here at home taking on the Middletown Middies here live on campusnation.com. Are you changing the camera? I didn't know you were changing the card. You want to go off and then go back on? Here, go ahead and just turn off.
All right, let's try this all over again. We had to change our SD card in the camera. We had two games on it, and it's only capable of holding about 2.5 games. I didn't want to have to worry about at halftime being able to change it out. So anyway, obviously AJ's already done our intro. We've got game number 3 of our 4 games today on Campus Nation. 1 college game, and obviously this is the third of the 3 high school games. There's going to be a special presentation to begin this game. Jaron Cumberland scored his 2,000th point last night, so they're going to honor him just before this game begins.
Just an amazing basketball player.
He is. And did you get the starting lineups, AJ?
I got the starters for
There they are.
Middletown. I almost could have guessed the starters for Wilmington.
Right, and if Cameron Stewart is anything like last night,
Sorry. Yeah, Jaron Cumberland, he's just an amazing player, Rick. Going to play at UC, right?
yes, sir. University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Not really been a big UC fan over the years, even during the Bob Huggins days, but I'll be pulling for the Bearcats. Obviously, we've got a great team in Xavier down there. I mean, I would say that they're going to be in the Final Four, if not winning at all.
Really?
They have a great team. Oh, yeah. And they won today against DePaul, going away. Nathan Barker, Scott Hartley, and Joe Wasserman
for Middletown, that's 30%. They're 44.4% from three-point range. They were 4 of 9. Wilmington's just made 1 of their 7 three-pointers and are shooting 75% from the line. A big stat to look at right now, and I do it all the time because it's so important, are points in the paint. Whenever you can get the ball in the post and put points on the board, you're going to win ball games more often.
And we know who won the points in the paint, right?
Wilmington with 26, Middletown with 4. Now another stat to look at the end of the first quarter, Wilmington had 2 turnovers. At the end of the first half, Wilmington had 2 turnovers. Middletown with 13 turnovers, Wilmington with 2. Wilmington with 14 points off of those turnovers to Middletown's 1. So another huge stat there.
And of course, Wilmington in the lead, 37-20. They have a 17-point lead going into the second half of play. I believe Middletown will have the ball to start with, won't they?
No. Wait. Yeah. Possession arrow points to them. Well, it's been quite a day here at the second annual Wilmington Scholastic Play-by-Play Classic. We had a Wilmington College game this afternoon as Charlie Hargrave brought you all that action over there. And then we kicked off things at 4:45 over here at Fred Summers Court, with Stivers beating Kings 57-46. And then at 6:30 we had the number 1 ranked team in the Division I state, Wayne Warriors, also defending state champions in Division I, hanging on to beat Jackson 65-58. And right now we're at halftime with Wilmington running away with a 17-point lead over Middletown, 37-20.
And I doubt, looking at the teams that played this weekend that are in the top 10, I doubt that there's going to be much of a shakeup in that top 10. So I think that most of the teams have won. In fact, Wayne has won 2 games since it came out last Monday, maybe 3 games, and Wilmington the same. Moeller, I don't know exactly how many games they played. I didn't see that they played last night, so I don't know whether they played tonight or not. But all your top 10 teams won, other than the LaSalle. I don't know why I keep wanting to forget the name of the team they played. Let me pull this up here. And our Hurricane play, as a program note, our next game will be Tuesday when Columbus DeSales comes in to play Wilmington. This coming Tuesday on campusnation.com. Yeah, LaSalle beats Elder. Elder was tied for number 10, I believe. So Elder will probably fall out. They'd already had 2 losses, so they now have 3. Stopping play.
They had 8:03 on the clock instead of 8 minutes, so we're going to give them 3 extra seconds. Guess that's against the rules. Johnson will get the inbound pass for the Middies, and we are underway for our 3rd quarter in our 2nd half. Radcliffe drives, got blocked from behind by none other than Jared Cumberland, who then it was stolen away by Radcliffe, who then gets fouled by Worley.
That's his 3rd.
And his team's first, and here comes Mansfield. He's going to already come in. Jimmy Ratcliffe shooting 2. First one is good. Second one for Ratcliffe is good. So, 2 free throws opens up the scoring here in the 2nd half for Middletown, and now Cameron Stewart has the rock. Gives it off to Mansfield, over to Bogard, off to Cumberland, pump fakes, drives, gets fouled, and counts. I think that's E.J. William, no, it's on 23. Kobe Johnson. That's his 2nd and the team's first.
Is that Kobe Johnson, number 23?
Yes. And that completes the 3-point play, and in comes Nick Morris. Radcliffe with the basketball, gives it off to Johnson, gives it to nobody, out of bounds.
Well, it was
looking for Williams. Yep.
24, Ethan Edwards, back in for the Middies.
Cameron Stewart with the basketball for the Hurricane. Gives it to Morris. Drives, goes up, gets it blocked, but he's fouled as well, hard.
Still down.
He's up. Probably landed a little harder on his tailbone. Team's on fouls on number 10, Bailey. His first, team 2nd. Shooting 2. First one is good. Second one up for Morris is good as well, and here comes Mansfield.
20-point Hurricane lead. 7:21 remaining in the third quarter of play. Tonight's game being brought to you by Bogart's Southern Barbecue.
Here comes Ratcliffe. The drive, the coast to coast is good with the finger roll. Bogart gives it to Morris, back to Bogart.
Don't get screwed. Don't get screwed.
Gives it to Cumberland, and no good. Williams with the rebound. Here goes Snow. Tie up, jump ball going back to Wilmington. And some jarring now.
They got a little bit of trying to separate the players.
Mansfield was getting in with Williams.
Cumberland actually walked out of that crowd.
Oh, they're teeing up Cumberland.
He must have said something. You know, usually the opposition tries a lot to try to rattle Cumberland.
Yeah.
Obviously something was said or something was done that rattled him.
That's just his first foul, the team's second.
Yeah, but he can't get another technical.
So Snow will be shooting two, and Middletown will have the ball.
Chris Snow at the line for the Middies.
Second one is no good.
Number 10, Alex Miller back in for the Hurricane. Middies ball, timeout.
42-35, Wilmington in the lead after we sort out the technical mess. Edwards gives it off to Snow.
Oh, he almost traveled.
Yep, give it off to Bailey, who's foul. Alex Miller's second. Nope, Alex Miller's third. Team's third. Shooting two. Number 10.
Number 10, Joe
Jamar Bailey, first one is good. Second one, that one's good as well. Now Bogart with the ball. Dribbling it up the floor, 42-27, Kane. Cumberland on the drive, goes up with it, and is fouled. They'll be shooting two.
Kind of wondered if Cumberland would be a man on a mission after all this.
Probably. That's the second foul charged to Radcliffe, who's got 11.
Foul is on Jimmy Radcliffe, his second.
First shot's good. Team's third foul for Middletown already here in the third quarter with 6:36 to go. We've already had 6 fouls. Second one for Cumberland is good.
Miller coming out.
Yep. Worley in. Miller out.
So one guy with 3 fouls replaces another guy with 3 fouls.
Take it to him. Take it to him. Take it to him. Don't let.
Snow working against Bogart, just barely gets it across half court. Gives it off to Ratcliffe. Tried to get it back to Snow, nearly lost it in our lap. Gave it out to Edwards, and now they reset.
I would have saved JJ, you don't have to worry.
I almost took the table in my face earlier.
I mean, I'm like a cat. I'd just be right on that ball.
Ratcliffe nearly traveled there, I thought. Goes up with a shot anyways. No good. Rebounded by Mansfield. Here comes Kane. Stewart. Got it stolen away by Edwards. Bad ball handling there. Now Snow on the other end. Bad shot. Rebounded by Cumberland.
He acted hurt. He acted like he pulled something.
Stewart inside. Mansfield with a slam and a basket.
Ratcliffe looked like he pulled something when he went up for that basket. He came down and he was...
Snow shot that.
Was it Snow? Is this Snow here?
Number 11.
Yeah. He's the one that acted like he pulled something. He still looks, you know, you can tell these middies are not used to running like this.
Mansfield completes the three-point play, and that's EJ's third personal foul, the team's fourth. Snow with the inbound, gives it back to Edwards. 20-point game now, 47-27. Ball comes over here to Snow. Gives it to Bailey, now back to Snow. Thought about a three, throws it back to Bailey inside. Nice. Shot good. Mansfield all alone. No reverse layup. Tried out good. Williams with the board. Here comes Radcliffe, and he gets the bucket despite the travel. Cumberland lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with Wilmington. Wilmington will inbound from underneath their basket here. Inbound to Miller. Jumper right away. No good. Rebounded by Williams. Here comes Edwards. Throws it out to Williams over to Ratcliffe for three. Airballed that one right into the hands of Alex Miller. Here goes Cumberland. Gonna dunk. Nope. Layup no good. Rebound pulled down by Mansfield, and the shot is good. Mansfield's on fire. Snow on the other end gets fouled by Miller. That's going to be number 4. His fourth, team's fourth. So shooting 2 will be Snow for Middletown.
Give me that other.
First one's up and good. In comes Petty for Middletown and Worley for Wilmington. Second one for Snow is good. In to Bogard. Brings it up the floor. No foul called there on Cumberland with that pick. Cumberland is good anyways. There's 26 points, Rick. He surpassed your 25. Throws that one away, and the ball goes back to Wilmington.
Well, he's inevitably, if he stays in the fourth quarter, going to surpass his average, which is 28.8 points.
Middletown did not like that pick. They thought it should have been a foul. Cumberland with the ball. Gives it off to Stewart. Back to Cumberland. 4:25 to go in the third. 51-33. Mansfield. To Bogard. Jumper. Nope, little off there. Rebounded by Williams. Gives it off to Snow. Throws that one nearly away.
Yeah, that was
Edwards
close.
reins it in. Gives it off to Petty and a foul against Bogard. That's just number 2 and number 5 for the team. Ratcliffe coming back in.
Junior Ratcliffe back in for the Middies.
Gives it off to Snow. Long 3. No good. Rebounded by Cameron Stewart. Here come to Kane. 3-on-3. Stewart. One-hander, no good. Tip, no good. Cumberland with the rebound. Ball still loose. Picked up by Petty. Ratcliffe.
Oh, nice.
Good defense by Bogart. Good hustle.
And that jumping ability just shines. He was up in the air.
Bailey, number 10, back in for the Middies.
Inbound comes into Ratcliffe. Gives it back to Petty. Drives. Puts it up. Good on the finger roll there. 51-35. 3:35 to go in the third. Bogart gives it off to Stewart. Over to Cumberland. Gives it off to Stewart. Drive. Bucket. Good.
Oh, nice.
30-second timeout taken by Wilmington with 3:20 to go in the third quarter. 53-35. Hurricane in the lead. Rick, why don't you tell them about our sponsor?
Sponsor is Marty Barbecue and Bogart's Southern Barbecue. Let me give you their hours of operation, AJ, in case you want to stop in and say hi or maybe eat something. Monday, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. And, of course, never on Sunday. We're going to start doing a sports show probably on Wednesday night from Bogart's. I'm going to talk with Marty Bogart and see if we can work out some details. Now, we have games on Wednesday, so we'll have to make sure that we've got our new crew that we've got lined up here to do some of our sports broadcasts while we're doing our sports show.
Snow gets the inbound after the timeout, gives it back to Edwards. Try to find Williams, can't, gives it to Ratcliffe, gives it back to Edwards, still trying to get it down in the post, and a foul. And that's the fourth foul against Worley.
Crowd didn't like that, I don't think.
Neither did Noska.
So we have 2 Hurricane with 4 fouls.
Miller and Worley, and here comes Matt Smith.
We haven't seen Nick Morris yet, have we?
Yes.
Have we? Okay.
Ratcliffe. Morris has got 2 points.
All right.
Petty throws it across court to Snow. Gives it off to Edwards. Back to Snow. Over to Petty. Gives it off to Snow again. Layup, no good. Rebound. There's a foul on the floor.
Going to be against Wilmington.
That's bonus time for Middletown now.
Jerry Mansfield is further. Team 7. At line number 4.
Is that Mansfield first?
Yep. Misses the second. Rebounded by Mansfield. He made the first one, misses the second one. Bogart gives it off. Smith, jumper, got it. Easy jumper for Matt Smith. 55-36. Ratcliffe nearly lost that one.
Yeah.
Edwards gets possession from Ratcliffe. Gives it off to Snow. Throws it over to Ratcliffe.
Trying to get to the big guy.
They can't. Oh!
That was a bad foul.
I didn't see that one at all. That's Mansfield's second. Team 7th. Team's 8th. So a 1-and-1 for the big guy, E.J. Williams.
Been a couple nitpicky fouls here lately.
Yeah, ticky-tack.
Got a nice touch for a big guy like that. He's almost like a Shaquille O'Neal. Although Shaquille O'Neal, he wasn't really that great a free throw shooter.
Second one, though, is no good. He made the first. Ball's on the floor. Gives it to Stewart, who's fouled right away by the big guy.
All right. That's his third, isn't it?
That's his fourth.
His fourth foul. Okay, we got a little bit of scrum again going on here. Middletown's coach out on the floor. Did he call a timeout?
I don't know what's going on.
Fouls on 34. E.J. Williams is forward.
All right.
Team 35. Xavier Peters.
Xavier Peters in the ball game. Mansfield will inbound here for Wilmington. Gets it into Dylan Bogart. Pressure here shown by Middletown, leaving Cumberland wide. Oh, he's good. Bucket in, a foul.
He will not be denied.
Fouls on Jimmy Ratcliffe.
On Jimmy Ratcliffe, his third.
At the line, shooting the bonus, Jared Cumberland.
3-point play attempt here for Cumberland. It's up. It's good. In comes Nick Morris for Matt Smith. 21-point lead for Wilmington, 58-37, 2:06 to go in the third. Edwards trying to get it in.
5.
Lost it out of bounds. Going to go back to Middletown. Barely got that in before a 5 count.
Good hustle by Wilmington. Got the pressure on him. Trying to rattle some cages, and they do.
Ball's loose. Stewart tried to get it to Morris on the tip, and it hit him right in the noggin. And then Bogart's going to get charged with a foul.
What is that, his second?
He tried to catch Snow in the middle of the air because he didn't want him to smack the floor.
Right.
Ended up getting a foul call against him, which is his third, and the team's ninth, so Snow will be shooting a 1-on-1. That's good sportsmanship, though.
That is, yeah. I wouldn't have let him fall, would you?
No. First one's up and good. Unless I had 4 fouls and I knew I would foul out.
Yeah, then Charlie would fall flat.
Second one is up and good. Bogart to Cumberland. Cameron Stewart to Bogart. Over to Morris, back to Cumberland. Stewart to Cumberland inside. Easy bucket for Jaron Cumberland, and Wilmington's got 60. 1:30 to go in the third.
They're right on line to score that 80 I was talking about.
Petty gives it off to Edwards. Gives it off to Snow. Gives it off to Edwards again on the drive. Outside. Ratcliffe for 3. In and out. No good. Ball's loose. Going back to Wilmington.
Middletown tried to save it, just couldn't do it.
Jamar Bailey back into the ball game for Middletown. Mansfield gets it into Stewart.
Some pressure from Middletown.
And there's the pass. Bogart 3-on-2. Morris, no good. Rebounded by Edwards. There comes Ratcliffe in the middies. Easy bucket. Timeout, Middletown. 1 minute to go. Here in the third. 60-41. Full timeout.
It still may end up being about 80-60. I may have been right from the beginning, AJ.
Yeah.
You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal. This Monday, we have girls high school basketball. We have a makeup game. Hillsborough will come in to play the Lady Kane. That game will kick off or tip off at 7 o'clock, and our pregame is at 6:45. Then we've got these same boys back to face Columbus DeSales. The Stallions will be in to play the boys Hurricane, and that game will be a 7:15 pregame with 7:30 start. And then on the third, we've got women's college basketball. The Polar Bears of Ohio Northern come in to face the Fightin' Quakers of Wilmington. That will be a 7:15 start, 7:30 game time. And then rounding out the week will be boys high school basketball. The Wilmington Hurricane will go to Chillicothe to play the second game against the Cavaliers this year. And once again, 7:15 with our pregame, 7:30 with the game. A lot of action this coming week on Campus Nation.
All right, after the timeout, Wilmington with possession. Dylan Bogart with the inbound. Under a minute to go in the third, 60-41. Cumberland to Bogart. To Stewart. Over to Cumberland. He's got 31. Make it. Nope, kicks it out to Bogart. Thought about a 3. Drives, gives it back to Mansfield. Goes up with it. Good by Jeffrey Mansfield, who's got 10. He's a man possessed out there tonight, Rick.
Well, it seems like other than Cumberland every night, one of the Hurricane.
Offensive foul is going to be charged against number 35, Xavier Peters. His fourth, team seventh.
Just a case where he wasn't really looking where he was dribbling.
There's a bad pick.
Nelson Ratcliffe, number 4 in the ball game for the Middies. Alex Miller, number 10, back in for the Hurricane.
24.1 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play.
Inbound comes in to Bogard. Over to Stewart. Ball's loose. Stolen away by Petty, and he stepped out of bounds.
Good try. Middletown trying to put a little bit of pressure on the Hurricane.
Stewart for three. Oh, good. Rebounded by Bogard. Back out to Cumberland. 3 seconds. Bogard with a three at the buzzer. No good. Ratcliffe with it. And that's going to do it for the end of our third quarter of play. Wilmington 62, Middletown 41 at the end of 3 quarters of Rick. That was a long third quarter with a lot of fouls. Both teams in the bonus already.
Right. It did slow down quite a bit with all the fouling, but that's sort of typical Hurricane basketball. We do see a lot of fouls. Wilmington is a very aggressive team. You didn't have a ticket for this one, did you, AJ?
Thank you.
Third quarter stats for you. Middletown shot 5 of 12.
I tried, AJ.
In the third quarter, 41%. They're shooting 34 for the game. They have 17 turnovers to Wilmington's 5. They have 22 rebounds. Wilmington now out-rebounding them 23 to 22. Leading scorer for Wilmington, Cumberland, 31 points. Mansfield, 10 points. Stewart, 9 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. 4 points, 4 boards, or 3 points. 4 points, 3 boards for Alex Miller, who's also got 4 fouls, and so does Chris Worley. Also with 4 fouls, Xavier Peters and E.J. Williams leading the way. Jimmy Ratcliffe with 15 points right now for the Middies. Also with 8 points, Cliff Snow.
You haven't been doing your how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If
You can't even do it. All right.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
I guess, man. Jeez. All right, Wilmington with the ball to begin the fourth and final stanza. Stewart to Bogard, now to inside to Cumberland. Got it blocked, but he's fouled hard on the play. And this is on Williams. That's it. Williams fouls out.
Oh, okay. Middletown coach wants a little clarification.
E.J. Williams comes out, fouling out, and in comes number 35, Xavier Peters, shooting 2, Jaron Cumberland. First one good. Second one good. 64 to 41. Wilmington in the lead. 7:45 to go in the game. Inbound comes into Snow. Gives it back to Edwards. Gives it off. Peters for 3. No good.
I had it.
I thought he had it too. A little short. Rebounded by Stewart. Gives it to Cumberland. Gives it to Bogard.
Nice passing. Nice passing.
Stewart to Bogard Stewart to Cumberland to Bogard.
That was like a ballet there.
Yes, it was. Perfectly done by the Hurricane for the 2 points. Now Snow with the ball. Gives it to Peters. Over to Ratcliffe. Jumper. Good.
Nice. 22-point Hurricane lead.
66 to 44. Cumberland to Miller. Inside to Stewart.
Oh,
wow.
nice
That's
pass.
another like a ballet, but he misses it. And Miller gets the rebound. To Mansfield for 2. No good. The tip no good by Miller as well. Rebound by Snow. Edwards back to Snow. Back to Edwards, inside. Peters goes up strong, no good. Edwards with the offensive board and the bucket.
24. Ethan Edwards for the Middles.
Bogard gives it off to Jaron Cumberland, most likely your MVP for Wilmington. I'm sure Jimmy Ratcliffe will get it for the Middies. Three-pointer for Bogard, in and out. Rebounded by Mansfield. Gives it back to Bogard. Follows up with a two-pointer, no good. Follows up with a tip, no good. Rebounded by Stewart. Follows up with a layup, no good. Rebounded.
Come on, someone make a basket.
Man. Ball goes out of bounds. It is hot in here, Rick. I don't know if this action all day long.
It's me.
Oh, jeez.
I radiate. You like that? Isn't that good, Roger? Who the man, Roger? Who the man?
Jimmy Ratcliffe with the ball. Gives it off to Edwards. And no good on the shot. Rebounded by Alex Miller.
Midi coach wants some fouling.
Stewart with the basketball. Gives it to Cumberland. Drives. He goes up. No good.
Now Cumberland was mugged twice on the way to the basket, and they didn't call a foul.
Cliff Snow gets foul. That was a charge against Snow. I'm used to East Clinton.
I know. I was going to say, our brothers over at East Clinton, you're ready to bring him back in for another game against the Hurricane.
Timeout, Wilmington. That's just Snow's first team foul, and the team's ninth.
This next weekend, we've got men's college basketball. Marietta will be in to play Wilmington. That will be on the 6th of February. That game is going to be a 2:45 game with a 3 o'clock tip-off. And then we come back here to the middle school gym for girls high school basketball. That'll also be that evening. 6:45 pregame. That will be Cincinnati Christian, the Cougars coming in to play the Wilmington Hurricane, the Lady Cane. Once again, 6:45 with the game to start at 7 o'clock. That rounds out the week of our next programming here on Campus Nation.
Oh, yeah. 66-45. Here in our fourth and final quarter of play. Wilmington Hurricane leading the Middletown Middies on their way to a 17-1 record with a win tonight. And Middletown would fall to 8-10 with a loss. .5:27 to go. Cumberland gets it into Stewart. Gives it off to Bogard, gives it off to Mansfield. Wilmington running. Cumberland tried to dunk and missed it. Rebounded by Miller. Outside to Stewart. Sets up for a three. Wide open, no good. Cumberland trying to tip, no good. Mansfield with the rebound, no good. Ball goes out of bounds.
That looked like the last series where Wilmington had 3 or 4 shots at the basket. Middletown bringing the ball up.
Gives it off. Blocked by Cumberland and a foul.
Yeah, now see,
Bailey will be shooting too.
First of all, Bailey used his body and pushed into the Hurricane player, and then Cumberland came over the top and tapped him.
That's the second foul for Cumberland on today. The 10th as a team, shooting 2, Bailey. First one good. Second one no good. Rebounded by Cumberland. Mansfield all alone on the fast break for 2.
Somebody fell asleep on that one.
Yeah, they did. Now Edwards with the ball. For the Middies, 68-46. Kicks it out. Travel.
Yeah, looked like it.
35, Xavier Peters.
Xavier Peters into the ball game.
For the Middies.
Petty traveled on the drive, so Wilmington has possession. 4:45 to go, and in comes... Nope, Chris Worley was going to come in, but he's going to have to wait for the next dead ball. Cumberland gives it off. Miller, good.
Easy bunny. Middletown's been asleep the last 2 times up the floor for Wilmington. So now what do we got?
Clock malfunction.
Should we look at our instant replay and see what the time on the clock was?
4:36.
All right. Basket counts. Middletown bringing the ball in. 4:36 remaining in this game.
68-46, Wilmington. Radcliffe with the inbound. Takes it up. Jumper.
Pretty.
Good. That was
nice.
Very pretty.
Nice.
Bogard dribbles out of the trap. Gives it to Miller. Goes up. Jumper. No good. Rebounded by Petty. Gives it off to Edwards. He'll take it across half court. Edwards kicks it out. Petty. Shot. Good. Middies take it down to an 18-point deficit. Bogard's trap. Dribbles around it. Dribbles through it. Throws it over his head. That gives it to Cumberland for the bucket. No good. Ball's out of bounds. Last touch by Middletown.
I see, really there are a lot of fouls that the refs aren't calling on both teams.
Right. Cumberland gets the inbound, goes up with it, no good. No good on the tip. Rebounded by Worley. Good on that chance.
Like a vacuum cleaner.
Radcliffe gets the inbound here. 3:40 to go. Step back. Fadeaway jumpers. No good. Rebounded.
That's a foul.
An offensive foul. Number 4, Petty.
Team 10.
2 shots upcoming for Dylan Bogard.
I thought on a player control, is that just college player control foul? There's no free throws for shooting?
First one good. I think so.
Yeah, it must be college because obviously high school we're shooting 2 shots.
It was away from the ball because that was on number 4, Petty.
Yeah, but still, the other team had the ball.
Misses the second one. Worley with the rebound and the putback. Good for 2.
Hey, when you're good, right?
Right. 73-50, 23-point lead. Edwards with the ball. Gives it to Radcliffe. Gives it to Snow. Over to Edwards. Back to Radcliffe. Jumper, no good. Rebounded by Worley. Gives it to Cumberland.
That's what we've been looking for.
Yeah, that awakes the crowd. Snow kicks it out. The shot good on the basket and a foul on Cumberland.
That'll be his 3rd.
Good bucket by Bailey. Cumberland gets a nice little ovation coming out of the ball game. Nope, Cumberland's not coming out.
He's not allowed to come out yet.
Three-point play is completed.
Now.
Here comes Peters.
No, Cumberland's still in the game.
Miller came out.
All right.
Inbound comes in. Bogard. Gives it off to Cumberland for the easy bucket.
37 points.
2:45 to go, 77-53. Snow to Edwards. Gives it off to Snow. Kicks it out. Radcliffe for 3. No good. Rebounded by Cumberland. Gives it off to Mansfield, running down the floor. He tried to slam, but missed it.
Uh-oh, coach is angry.
Charge against Peters. Good job by Cumberland to take that one. That's his fifth.
He's gone. Now, once again, Middletown fans not too happy with that.
.219 to go, 77-53. Wilmington in the lead.
Guess they're doing a little home cleaning here.
Yep.
Mopping up the perspiration on the floor. Don't want anyone to get hurt.
Wilmington basketball. Stewart gets the inbound, gives it back to Cumberland. Throws it off to Bogard. Gives it off to Miller, and an easy two, no good. Then the follow-up by Worley is good.
Stick back by Worley. And Wilmington is 1 point away from my predicted 80.
2 minutes left to do it, too. Bailey gave it off. Petty got it blocked right into the hands of Worley. Here comes Cumberland. Takes it all the way himself for two.
Now Middletown needs 7 in the next minute 42 in order to equal the 60 that I said they would get.
Edwards with the ball. Gives it to Ratcliffe. Back to Edwards. Nope, stolen away by Bogard.
He tried to foul him, didn't he?
Yep, and Bogard all the way to the hole for two. 30-point game, 83-53. Here comes Snow. Loses it out of bounds, going back to Wilmington.
He zigged when he should have zagged, huh? Dylan looks like he may be just a little tired.
He's been running around this court like a madman.
Yes, he has.
Inbound to Stewart, throws it over the head to Cumberland. Here he goes. Up, no good. Rebounded by number 10. Bailey kicks it out. Hands it off to Edwards. Gives it off to Petty, over to Ratcliffe. Inside to Bailey. No good. Rebound by Snow, and the putback is good. Here goes Bogard. Up for two.
55-85.
40 seconds.
Wilmington's not going to let them have an easy basket. Up.
Hands to the face.
That was on number 3.
You know, a little poke in the eye is no big deal, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
First one good by Snow.
Don't forget, we'll be handing out 2 MVP trophies at the end of the game.
Second one is good. Bogard with the inbound. Gives it to Stewart. Gives it to Bogard. Probably dribble it out here.
Yeah.
20 seconds. Stewart to Cumberland, who's got 39. Gives it back to Bogard, back to Cumberland. 10 seconds. Back to Bogard. Gives it off to Stewart, and that's it. Wilmington 85, Middletown 57. Wilmington 17-1, Middletown 8-10.
Well, 85-57, AJ, I would say I was pretty accurate on what I was estimating earlier.
We'll wait for the final stats of the trophy presentation.
Right.
We all know who's going to get it for Wilmington.
I am going to get it because I didn't have anything to eat all day and I did 4 games.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ratliff.
Yep, I was right. Jimmy Ratcliffe for Middletown.
Presenting the trophies.
Well, see, we were both predisposed to premonition.
Play-by-play classic and Troy Eagles from the Hurricane. And for the Hurricane with 39 points, Jared Cumberland.
Fine player.
Jeremy Treatment from Play-by-Play Classics and Troy Eagles.
He was most valuable last time, too. Last year.
Travel home safe. We hope you all enjoyed the 3 games this evening, as we did. Thank you very much for attending. If you will, please pick up your trash around you and deposit it in the corners as you leave. And the waste basket's in the corner.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, AJ, give them the stats and let's take it home.
Finishing with 19 points for Middletown. Jimmy Ratcliffe, 19 points, 5 boards. With 12 points, 5 boards, Cliff Snow. With 8 points, number 4, Nelson Rutledge instead of Petty. We were wrong on that one, too. Sorry about that. 37% from the field. Well, they had the rosters wrong.
That's right.
37% from the field, 79.2% from the free throw line. With Wilmington, 39 points and 8 boards. Jaron Cumberland with 12.6 boards. Jeffrey Mansfield and with 9.6 boards, 5 assists. Cameron Stewart. Wilmington shot 46.6% from the field and 84.2% from the free throw line. 22 turnovers for Middletown. Wilmington with just 5 all game long. Wilmington scored 20 points off those turnovers, and they scored 60 of their 85 points in the paint. So, Wilmington will go to 17-1 with this victory, and Middletown will fall to 8-10.
And I guess that wraps up a second annual Scholastic Play-by-Play right here from Wilmington, Ohio, middle school gym, Fred Summers Court. This is Rick Phillips for AJ Ganger and for Roger Thompson. Roger and I are going to head over to Gold Star, so if anybody wants to come buy us dinner, that's where we'll be, right? Okay. AJ's heading back to Troy. You got a hot date tonight, AJ? Hook up with the girlfriend and have some chicken wings?
Jackie time, man.
Jackie time?
Nurse Jackie.
Oh, Nurse Jackie.
TV show.
All right, well, anyway, this is Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. Brought to you by Bogart Southern Barbecue, 975 South Street in Wilmington, Ohio. And we're wishing everybody a good night, and go Cane.